president. Joining us this morning to talk more about all of this is Republican Congressman Michael Waltz. He is at the RNC and has had a firsthand look at everything that has happened so far. Great to see you, sir.
Good to be with you. Thanks.
So let's talk first about the VP pick. What are your thoughts on J.D. Vance and your interactions with him up till now?
Well, first, I'm thrilled to have a veteran on the ticket. So Semper Fi to all the Marines out there, first time since 2008. And I think at the end of the day, if you read his book, Hillbilly Elegy, he encapsulates, he exemplifies the forgotten man and woman in middle America that President Trump has been winning over to the Republican Party for years now. I was the co-chair of the party platform. And when we introduced it Monday, we dedicated it to the working man and woman. So I think he is truly going to resonate. His life story is going to resonate in Michigan, Wisconsin, Minnesota, Pennsylvania, in those Rust Belt communities that have been so devastating by losing manufacturing, whether it was to NAFTA or to China.
What did you think of DeSantis and Haley speaking last night in the name of unity of the party? Of course, Haley was sort of a last-minute invite, really.
Well, I thought it was fantastic. I thought they were both incredibly gracious and really laid out that where so many of us have been, that our lives were better, our wallets were fuller, our families were safer, and the world was relatively at peace compared to where all of those things compared to where they are today. So it's fantastic to see the Republican Party so positive, so looking forward, so unified. But it wasn't just at the elected level. The night before, you had African-American celebrity Amber Rose. You had a Teamster boss. You had a priest holding up a cross and a Sikh, chanting in Hindu. So it truly has the kind of the full bench and the full tent of the Republican Party on display. And I have to tell you, I've smiled as it defies the narratives from the progressive left.
Congressman Waltz, I want to talk about today's theme, which is to make America strong again. What does that mean to you?
Well, I'll be speaking tonight to that. At the end of the day, the number one job of the federal government is to keep you safe. Almost everything else, I think state and local could do better and more customized to your lives, but they can't build an army and a navy and a space force. But it'll be broad and secure our national borders. So this will be about border security. It'll be about the state of our military under Biden that's more focused on pronouns and electric tanks than it is being as lethal as possible. But importantly, it's also focused on energy security. We are blessed with abundant oil and gas. Not only do you solve our inflation problem here at home, but you dry up the war machines in Moscow and Tehran if you would simply export and flood the market with clean American gas. So all of those things will be key topics tonight. And I'll tease, we may have a few surprises tonight as well.
All right, looking forward to that. I want to talk real quick because you do have the hearing coming up next week on the assassination attempt on the former president. What are the questions you still have? We've been sprinkled this week with a lot of details, and some of them are very disconcerting.
Well, I talked to a number of agents the day after the assassination attempt. They are upset. They're frustrated because they have repeatedly requested more resources for the Trump protective detail and have been repeatedly denied by the Secret Service headquarters and by DHS. They have denied, the headquarters has denied my assertion, but I think they're splitting hairs here in a really unhealthy way. They may have given them, say, 2 or 3 more agents, but it was not the 20 or 30 that were being requested. Trump is not a normal former president. He is not President Carter sitting in an old folks home between his multiple residences, how active he is with these huge rallies, and he faces Iranian assassination threats on top of the local and domestic ones. So he needed a much bigger presence. And what happens when those resources are denied? Then you have to be reliant on local law enforcement at these rallies. And we love our cops, but they're not trained to the level as the Secret Service. And it was local law enforcement that was assigned to cover the building that the sniper was on.
So I imagine you will have a lot of questions next week in this hearing.
We have the Secret Service director coming to us Monday or Tuesday, and I have hours worth of questions. And for her and Mayorkas to say that, hey, we're not resigning, we're not going anywhere, I think just points to the accountability problem in this administration, whether it's the Afghanistan withdrawal, Secretary of Defense who disappeared for a week without telling anyone. I mean, there have been a series of major mistakes, and yet we don't see anyone fired or even laterally transferred.
Well, we look forward to hearing your speech tonight and to the hearings next week. Congressman Michael Waltz, thank you so much for taking the time to be with us from Milwaukee this morning.
Okay, thanks so much.
Take care. All right.